NRG faced off against PRX. Loser goes fourth, and whoever wins goes to the lower bracket final against Evil Geniuses. This was a very good game. I recommend watching the VOD if you have time. First map, third map, second map, you'll see is a bit one-sided. But if you don't have time, that's why the summaries are here. So we're going to hop in straight away. NRG's won the pistol. PRX have run 2 rounds in a row, and NRG are on an eco. And this is just a straight-up anime duel-off. It's just knives on knives. And yeah, this was a big pivotal round in terms of the econ, and just how the half started to go after this round, really. So yeah, massive round. CGRS does go down on this one, but yeah, big round from Ardis, and a lot of individual step-ups from both teams in this game, as you'll see. Time really low on this one. PRX's original game plan was honestly just to hit over towards B all the time, and NRG were over-rotating a lot. The round before, you saw Ardis had his ult, they went and got orb. They then insta-rotated over towards B. This round is another good example of just a heavy rotate, right? 4 people here with like 20 seconds left. So NRG, their plan was just to over-rotate, and I think they looked into how PRX like to play, and they don't really flank a lot. So I think they kind of played off that. They don't really have a lurker. So they played off that factor by over-rotating. I love this round by PRX. I thought that this was really cool. The wall off over towards A to kind of split over towards A main. I thought it was great. Didn't massively work out, but CGRS in this, I had to highlight him. This was his best series. It feels like he's getting better and better every series that we see. Yeah, just a really important one. Does go down into a 2-on-2. And then you're going to see, fast forward this a little bit, Plant goes down, CGRS gets another one. Like, the impact that he actually had in this game was just so wild. Just with a stinger as well, he seems to be a stinger god. And yeah, we go into 6-3. That was one of the third rounds that PRX won, and NRG started taking control. This is what I was talking about, right? They were over-rotating, and I think they'd looked at the demos and thought that PRX never add a lurk in. So CGRS decides to lurk in, and again, just big impact from him. They don't expect it. Ardis not even looking for it. That's how much I think that they talked about them never even lurking. So yeah, I like the game plan from NRG. It did pay off for a lot of these rounds, right? They did over-rotate. It definitely paid off, but I think once they got punished by the lurk itself, then they actually did a pause after this as well. So I wonder if Chet was just saying, okay, they're starting to lurk now, we need to be ready for it. But yeah, I thought that was good from both teams, honestly. CGRS adding that one in. This was cool. So ult comes in, pushes you back over towards this area. You see 2 people here, and you're just about to see a double updraft with Forsaken's knives. And yeah, I just like this combo. Just goes in, knows that they'll be in this area, gets the first kill just to help them get over towards site. I thought that was great. I love that about them. Just those little details really helping them get some rounds. Then we're going to fast forward again. NRG won the second pistol. They won a lot of pistols in this one. And we go to this round, and we have to play this round out just because it's just so impactful in terms of the amount of ults that are used. Everyone's using ults. You've had Seekers. Jing's used his ult. I think Devi used his Seekers back as well. FNS uses his Viper ult here. We have Astra ult. We had Harbor ult, I think, to enter over towards the site as well. So it's like one of those rounds where it's just like 6-7 ults, and it's just really impactful. And yeah, just a lot of close duels. A lot of close duels to decide this one. 9-8. And yeah, it's just very important, especially if you look over at NRG's money. They just don't have the money for the next round. So really wanting to win this one. Sorry, it was actually CGRS that got a kill that gave them this ult, which means that FNS had to force his hand into this one. So it actually ended up being like 8 ults, I think it was. Yeah, just big rounds overall, and that kind of swayed things a little bit. Then what happened was NRG started hitting over towards B all the time. They started getting success, and then PRX were like, we need to shut down B. And this was one of their ways of doing it, trying to go close. As you can see, didn't really pay off. CGRS trying to bail out his teammate, trying to make sure that they can bait it in, but the dog spots him, had to be shooting that dog, and then Devi's just in no man's land, just trying to survive. He's getting mollies thrown at him, he's getting a killjoy molly thrown at him in a bit as well. CGRS goes down and is trying to help him, and yeah, just the lockdown of B just wasn't working. We go to 11-9, and NRG just doing the same thing, right? It's just B hits after B hits. PRX call a timeout. And then they pretty much just tell Forsaken, I'm sure, to just go super aggro over towards B. Like, I think they were like, you can just do your thing, have an op, and if you have your dash up, you can just go as aggro as possible. He did really good on this. It's just very nice to see them actually be able to shut down B. It's the last time that we're going to see power like this, so should be a little bit easier to hold B. But yeah, just very impactful round. I'm going to let this one run out a little bit because he does so well here. He's just so aware of where the ult's going to go. He just takes a little step back, almost gets a double kill here as well, and gets out for free. And yeah, just very nicely played from him. And like I said, I think after that pause, they just decided that he can just go aggro. He can just go as aggro as he wants. And every single time they were coming B, he was getting 2. Making it doable. Forsaken for me was MVP of this whole matchup. I thought it was incredible, just the impact he was having. Obviously, everyone from PRX was stepping up, but yeah, he had crazy impact. Also, Som had like a really good game, but you're gonna see why it's gonna get remembered for the wrong for the wrong reasons, really. And yeah, I feel a little bit sad for him. This was a nice round in 11-12, just playing anti-flash, and NRG changing it up, going over towards A. And just a nice setup from FNS Victor, especially playing anti, like I said. It's 12-11, and it's a 3-on-3. Devi plays this so perfectly. So perfectly. Just beats the wall, and his patience here is just great. If you beat him this wall, most likely you're going to face instantly. They don't expect him here. He managed to get a kill earlier before this. Gets an extra one, even jump spots to get the information so his team can come rotate, and then just plays it pretty passive, doesn't full commit, just watches for if he's going to be pushing forward, brings him to overtime. Sick round from him, really good. Then we had a series of overtime play out. It was a 1-1 for each, and we go to 13-13. Artist, a little bit unlucky. I tell you what, I've never seen a wall kill, let alone a wall to get one of the first kills. It's kind of wild. So yeah, wall kill coming in and flash over towards here. Now, I'm going to let this round play out because it's mad. CGRS has done his luck again, something that they weren't expecting, something that PRX doesn't really normally do, and he gets into the corner. At the same time, NRG push middle and hear all this sound, so that pulls the rotate over really fast. CGRS gets 2, Som gets 2 as well. Jing, I don't know how he got the first kill here, but then we go into this mad round. So Som has done all the hard work. He's having such a good game, 24-17. Keep a look at the time. He puts his ult down, he gets information, and I think he just slightly messes up his cove here. He needed to do it a bit more to the right so he could run out, and then I think he doesn't want to get caught running away, so he just stays close. There's like 1 second left. CGRS manages to somehow get him, and that's one of those things that you're just going to be thinking about the whole time. Like I said, he had a really good game, but man, is that one-on-one just going to stick in your head the whole time. I love this as well from PRX to kind of close this out. If you've watched some of the other videos, I like to say that NRG like to fight in this box all the time in their after plant, and PRX decide to play really far back, and they kind of abuse this. They make sure they have 4 people here ready for when they do the swing. And yeah, I thought it was nice because they're kind of just abusing the fact that NRG are like into duel at the back area there. So really cool first map to start it off. Loved everything about it. Som, like we said, he had a pretty good game, but obviously that 1v1 is the one that's going to stick out for sure. FNS just fragging out of control, kind of does the whole. He might have had one of his best of 3s in this one, and yeah, just Forsaken, Impact, 8 out of 4 first kills, and then the rest of the team's kind of just stepping up. CGRS as well, second top fragger, like it was all relatively even. I mean, technically top fragger, but yeah, I just thought he had a very good game. Then we move over to this one. It's hopefully relatively short, just a bit of replays just so we can kind of recap it. NRG winning their 3rd pistol. It's just how they rolled with this, just winning a lot of pistols, always getting off to those good starts. Just wanted to kind of just highlight this. This is an ace coming in for Forsaken. I like that people are bringing the heavy guns into C so that you can now not always plant in that safe spot and you can get spammed. I talked about it a lot on my stream. Super happy that teams are starting to play a bit more passive, have the heavy guns that kind of penetrate that safer plant to stop that from happening. Then we go down into 1v2, 1-2 in terms of the scoreline, and the after plants from NRG were really good. They actually had a mixture of after plants. They stole some of the Navi stuff, or maybe they already had it and they just started to use it. And yeah, just the positions in the after plant were really good, and just great to see that their Lotus is looking nice, to be honest with you. It was very one-sided. FNS was walking out of A main all the time, getting this first kill, and he was just fragging. Like he was fragging non-stop this whole map. It was a very good good map for him. He played well in terms of the calling, and just the straight up fragging from him was just like outrageously good. So yeah, very, very nice from him. Another highlight from FNS, of course, into like these big important rounds. It's 10-2. Like, this was a very, very dominant map. It really was. So I didn't want to talk about this one too much. Just more of a it's more of a show reel of some of the the rounds that went on. PRX did start a comeback. It was like the classic PRX that we've been seeing, like they're 12 rounds down or 11 rounds down, and they're just starting to pull it back just a little bit too late. So we saw those rounds dotted in, but yeah, it wasn't enough. And NRG just managing to close this one out. It was 13-6. It was it doesn't help when you're winning no pistols, right? And NRG after this game 4-0 in terms of the pistols. Definitely a thing that helped them along in terms of all of this. Very nicely done from some. FNS, like we were saying, fragging out of control. It was fine. It was a very, especially from the side of NRG, it was a very, very dominant game. Now, we get over towards this one, and okay, we have just seen PRX win their first pistol. So first pistol out of 5, they win, and now we're on a anti-eco, and Divide buys a Marshal into this, misses the shot. Some gets the Marshal and does this. So NRG on an eco, even when they're losing the pistol, they're still winning the next round. And it was just so strong, especially with the amount of guns that they managed to pick up, really snowballed them into another good start. PRX again just having a bit of a rough time in terms of the starts on this. Then we go into this round, and it's looking really, really good. Forsaken on site though, and Forsaken really stepped up. It was incredible to see some of the stuff he was doing. That kill there kind of decided it. As you're going to see, I'll let this run out. Uses ult to get information as to where they are as well. And what a round to do it in terms of the econ. You look over to the left and they can't buy. You look over to the right in terms of NRG's econ. It's out of control. Sick round from him. Really good impact, and they needed that in that moment for sure. We actually saw, sorry to mention this just now, but the change up that NRG did was they got rid of the Sage, they got rid of the Harbor, and they put in a Chamber, and they put in a Brim. So the Chamber is actually pretty good for like holding the defaults against PRX, right? You know they're going to push forward, so it's kind of nice to just get the kill that you saw over there towards Showers and then manage to TP out. This is crazy, by the way. So I want to quickly pause this here. Look at where they are on the minimap. Jing was just here, but he's used double satchel to make sure that he's far ahead to try and get the rotate, to try and catch them as they're jumping out. He's just on his second satchel right now, has a good speed boost, and then he does this. Look at the time, 14 seconds. They got to get the plant down, and he just does everything perfect. As soon as he gets the first kill, then the ult, then this on top of it. And it was just, again, just the individuals really coming alive on these rounds. Crazy round from him. So good. The double satchel just for the rotate, just to be there in time, just to beat them. And yeah, I thought it was perfect. 2v4 as well. Such a mad impact. I just wanted to quickly highlight this. They're doing the smoke over towards A again. This is what they do all of the time. I saw it in the Fnatic game. If you look at the summary there, Fnatic actually had something to counter this that won them around. NRG not so much. They kind of bled their time a little bit. They struggled to get through this choke point. That's why you're kind of seeing the Seekers go out once the dog had already been used. And Forsaken buying time really well, just playing. That kill takes down the spike again, low time again, and Forsaken just cleans up here, just on top of where everyone will be. And yeah, just like I said, actually, I enjoy this smoke that's a little bit deeper over towards A. It can be a nightmare to deal with. Then it kind of went back and forth. It really did go back and forth. Crashies managed to win this one-on-one, which was really important. We're at 6-5 now after this. And then we got over towards the last round that ended 7-5 to NRG. Then we go into this as well, and NRG win another pistol. That's 5 out of 6 pistols that they won. So that was kind of crazy. PRX, knowing that obviously they can't let them snowball too much into this, they decide to buy. So we're into the second round on the second half, and they decide to buy. This is what you're going to see a lot. B hits. It was B hit after B hit after B hit, non-stop. NRG took a long time to kind of adapt and actually hold over towards B. It's going to let this one play out a little bit. The amount of times that Jing was at spawn was just wild. He was at spawn all the time, just getting kills that they just weren't expecting him. He called them off so many times, and yeah, I just thought this was a big buy round. Jing, just I like what they're doing with splitting over towards this site, and then obviously him going towards here when NRG are putting so much emphasis on playing heavy towards long B. I thought it was really smart. Fnatic again had a good ante for this in terms of just like where they put Boaster and he could just molly to kind of prevent this. But yeah, I liked how PRX approached this. It was B hit after B hit, like I said. Ignored the little smoke up there. He did eventually change it after like 3 rounds. But yeah, it was just nice that they also changed it in terms of like this one was with 2 people over towards long. Then some of the other times they had all of them over towards long, but it was just a multiple barrage of B hits. Like this is just another one that you're going to see as well. CGRS getting that kill. And yeah, like I said, Forsaken did eventually change the smoke. Don't worry, it's not intentionally to be there. It's not some like 5-head thing. He was dismissing it. And then NRG it was still happening. B hits after B hits, and I on my stream I was just wondering like when are they gonna put the chamber here? Like chamber could be pretty good over towards here if they wanted to just hold over towards long, TP out, or vice versa. You want to hold over towards long and you can kind of TP out over towards here. I just never saw it, and I just don't think that NRG thought that they were gonna carry on doing B hits, but they did. They did carry on doing the B hits. Yeah, just this same thing again where they're kind of like splitting off the site, just getting out, getting the control, even with the ults in and everything. It was, yeah, and Jing once again just beelining for spawn and just catching them off. It was just constant, and even though they've used the ults, they were just nothing into this one, couldn't do it. And then we got another B hit, and this time NRG put multiple people here, right? We actually have 4 people here. We have the bait over towards Hookah, and this was great, but it just felt like it was just a little bit too late with the amount of B hits that we had. I really wanted NRG to kind of just stop this a bit earlier and actually just hold this a bit heavier. So yeah, we liked that from them, actually managing to get around over towards B. Had to be a 4-person stack though, but in my mind it was a little bit too late. Just wanted to highlight this as well. PRX, once they got stopped over towards B, just to straight up switch up over towards A, and I like how much util and how good they were dealing with this. They knew that an op might be in play, and Artist is just like, he held onto it for as long as possible, trying to get a shot just in case anyone peeked out. But it was just really nice, just everyone, just all of the spacing and everything's just making sure that they can't lose this. And Jing is wild. Like, Jing is so wild in some of these. If you watch him on the minimap here, he literally just runs out and just swings. There is no util behind it. I watched it like 3 times to see if there was any kind of util behind it. There's no util. He just really wants the first kill. He's just really he's just crazy blood hungry. And yeah, just big frag out from them, bringing us down to a 12-10. So 12-10 comes in. Yeah, this was it. Just pushing over towards. I think I put it in the replay because I was just like, man, he has to have some kind of util behind him. But yeah, massive round from them. Like I said, 12-10 coming into the end of it. Of course, they go back for the B hit. Can they hold the B hit? 2 people here. FNS managed to dodge the Dizzy here, and he just does great. 1, 2, 3. Like I said, it was one of his best frag out performances. Really, really nice from him. And then we go down to the final round, 12-11. How's it going to go? It's an A hit. They're mixing it up. They lost over towards B. Now they go for this A hit. And a lot of ults. A lot of ults into this. Starts off with an anime battle. Just really, really close. Jing so nearly managed to get that transfer. I would have lost my mind. But yeah, as well, what I was noticing, a lot of the times NRG were holding over towards showers, but because little bro kept on planting, they could never get the spam, right? They just carried on spamming like a little bit too high, and just meant that a lot of times, even though the smokes were coming down, they couldn't actually stop the plant itself. And yeah, this was just an insane game. It was so good to watch every single round. Like, I cut out a lot of crazy rounds just because otherwise this video would end up being 40 minutes long. And yeah, it's just really impressed with PRX. They just keep on doing it. Like I'm saying, CGRS just keeps on having just crazy, crazy performances, getting better and better as we go on. Forsaken for me was MVP. All 3 of these just had good stand-up performances when they needed a lot of first kills from Jing. Like I'm saying, just going over towards spawn when they were hitting sites. And yeah, like relatively simple game plan from PRX, but it was one of those things of just like we're going to keep on doing this until they can stop it. And then they just didn't stop it for a long, long time. Impressed by just PaperX in general. To be able to do this with a stand-in for me it's very insane, to be honest. I think the strats are good. I think they have the best game plan possible for the stand-in. And yeah, I'm just it's been fun to watch. It really has been fun to watch, and just kind of shows just like how good these four are individually, and honestly how good CGRS is individually. I saw him in one game in the league. He was on Icebox, and it felt like they were like just not playing too seriously with it. He used Gecko on Icebox. But now I'm kind of watching him, and definitely some of his like lurks and everything that he's doing. He actually seems like really smart, and he's having a lot of impact. So I've been really impressed with him. I think he's doing fantastic, and we'll see how far the run can go. Top 3 is incredible. Maybe they can do more. Who knows? They're going to play against EG in the lower final. In terms of NRG, a lot of this came down to one-on-ones. It was a really close game. I think they'll be a little bit gutted. They were a little bit too slow to adapt, in my mind, on bind, and I think that kind of hurt them. I think when they had the chamber, like in my mind, the chamber against what they were doing would have been relatively good, but maybe they were too worried about once they TP'd away, he would just get jumped on by the Rays. So I kind of understand why they just wanted to keep it over towards A. But I do think Ardis holding over towards long with an op could have been really strong. But yeah, overall, really good game. Enjoyed it. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments below. Sorry, this one was a little bit longer, but yeah, it was a banging game, so I had to kind of cover it all. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.